Hi guys, this is Cindy over paper.old.new. This is a craft video. I'm hoping that you guys will come along for the ride. If you do want to do this with me, you're going to need a trimmer of some sort. I used ink. It's not necessary. Hole punch for notches in your pockets because we're making pockets. And what I've been using is cards. These are 4.5 by 6.5 matte stack cards for scrapbooking. You can make them 4 by 6. You can make them, whatever meets. If you've got matte stack or you've got cutoffs that are 4 by 6 or whatever, you can use those. It helps. These were all rectangles of the same size, so it made measuring easy. It made it really easy on this one. This is a variation on the same thing. So we're going to be making these little caddy corner pocket stacks. This one was because sometimes your paper is directional. Like, for example, this little guy right here is directional. He wouldn't necessarily look right if I turned him up like that. Am I not showing that to you? So I prefer him this way. It was the same one with this. I didn't want to cover this up. So I said, well, what happens if I just take one and make this just 2 pockets? So it's a pocket where you glue it down and then a little pocket on top. So we have this little pocket here. Okay. And then on this one, you have this little pocket, and then you have this bigger pocket, and then this pocket where you glue it down again. All right. Now these come together really quick. So if you have a 4 by 6 card, the way I did this one, because if you put this in your trimmer, if I put this in my punch, I can't see the edges, and usually I eyeball the center. But since I can't see the edges, this is just the way I do it. I take the corners and put them together, make a little crease right there. And because I can't see the crease once I put it in the punch, I put a little spot right there where it comes together that I can see. And then I put that in my punch and I eyeball it for the center. Now, because this is the littlest pocket, I'm going to make this shallow. So there's a shallow little crease, and that usually gets it pretty good centered. And then for this one, I can eyeball it because I've got the card is wider than the punch. This one, I'm going to use the same punch. I'm going to make it a little deeper. And then for this one, I'm going to use my 2-inch punch. This is a 1.5 inch, by the way. I'm going to use my 2-inch punch. I'm going to center it up. I'm going to make it right there. Okay. Those keep flying everywhere. Every time I punch it, just flies everywhere. All right, we're going to put the done ones off to the side over here. And we're not going to need the trimmer until I show you how I got these sets. And these can come together in any, obviously you can put this together with any matte stack. If I wanted to make these for a kid's journal, I don't know if you remember, or I have a whole bunch of, from kids scrapbook paper kits. I have a whole bunch of, fun, colorful kids stuff. So I can make these for little golden book journals or kids book journals or, whatever like that. So we'll ink these real quick and I'll show you how I glue them down. And then once I've got these ones, I figured we're kind of doing this backwards. So I already had these pieces ready. So I figured I would show you how they glue down, and then we'll do it again from the start. So these ones, hopefully, I don't make this take all year because it takes me forever to ink something. Okay. And then this I can ink later. All right, so you figure out where you want to caddy corner it. And obviously, it doesn't matter which direction you caddy corner it in. You can go either way. I guess if you have a plan for what page you want to put it on and you have a preference as to whether or not this middle pocket faces in toward the spine or out toward the edge, that might be a consideration for which direction you do your caddy corner. I kind of try and do it a little bit in from all the edge. Ooh, that's a lot in. Let's tilt it a little bit more. There we go. And then just glue down those edges, right? Okay, and then the other one, You can see how quick this is once you get your pieces cut. And these pieces don't take long because I'm using pre-measured cards. So they're all the same size. So it was very easy for me to put these together. Now, I am going to say, this was inspired by, I did not watch her make these, but Gayle was flipping through her idea books. She's done some videos where she goes through her idea books and shows the stuff that's in there. And as she would flip the pages, and I would pause the video and I would look at whatever it was on that page. And I would say, I wonder if I could make that. Well, this page, this came up and I was like, well, that's just caddy cornered rectangle pockets. I could do that. And so I didn't actually watch her make them. I just watched her flip through her idea book and I saw them. So I will try and link you the idea book video maybe. But I suppose maybe she does a processing video somewhere. I just haven't found it. So that's what they look like all done. So now we have two of, what do I do with them? And as you can see, the backgrounds on these are different. So I had one that was printed and one that wasn't. And then so the reason so you take a whole piece. I know I'm talking in incomplete sentences. I do that a lot. Sorry. So when you make the ones that you are going to be, your backgrounds are a whole card. So I've selected a few. I don't know if you can see this little stack over off to the side. I've selected a couple so we can see two different looks from the same background. So I've got this set and this set. Now the back card obviously isn't going to get cut. And if you're keeping in mind directionality, this can be a middle card, because what we're going to do with the middle, so this pocket, this is this is a full card. You can see that, right? And this is going to be my other background. So that's a full card. So those don't get cut. Now this is going to be my center card. And because of the way you do this, you get two. So you can find two backgrounds that match, or you can just save the card for something else. This is 6.5 inches across. So I'm going to cut it at 3 1/4. That gives me two cards, same size, right? And I can put one on that background and I can put one on this background. So that's those cards. Now, for this card, I just want the fleur-de-lis. This I will probably use for something else. Or it can be used as this middle card, although you cover up some of the bird. So first you're going to cut it in half. So 6.5 inches. This gets cut to 3 1/4 again. Sorry, I'm rambling. I do a lot of rambling. I'm going to set this aside because we're going to use it for something else. And then you take this, for this little pocket, you turn this and you cut it in half again. So 6.5 by 4.5. So this is the 4.5 side. So this is going to get cut to 2 1/4. And then I have my top pockets. Okay. So let's set this aside for just a minute. I need a glue mat, guys. And now we're going to put these together. So once again, we got to do our punching. So I'm going to fold it just at the top. So you're not, I want to get my punches out here. So you're not folding it all the way down. I don't want to crease the whole card. And then I'm going to mark it. I'm going to do the same thing to the other one while I'm here, and then we can just pick up the punch and go. You got to make sure the corners meet, or it won't be a center. Obviously, it won't be a center notch. Okay, now, so this is my shallow one because it's a little card. So that's right about middle. Punch that. Right about middle, punch that. Okay, and there's our first two cards. Okay, now this one I center, and we're going to cut this one a little deeper. Let's just eyeball either side of the punch to make sure those two spots on either side are even, and I just eyeball it. That looks about right. Okay, and you don't have to make that notch deeper. I mean, obviously, it's just a thing I did because the cards are two different sizes. So we're going to center this, cut a notch. And again, we're going to center this. I want to say that design when there is the center, so if I center that design, it should be pretty good. All right. Put that up there. If we have time, we'll do another set. Okay, so now we just glue them down. So we'll ink this. Now this one is going to be a little bit difficult only because this is covered in like glitter. So I have to see how well the glue holds. I've experienced trouble gluing down on these glitter pad surfaces if there's too much glitter. So we'll see. Go all the way around this one. And now, obviously, these can be further embellished. I mean, they don't have to stay, you know, plain like this, depending on what book you put them in or what you want to add them to. Or, you know, in this case, this is butterfly paper. Maybe you got some butterfly stickers you want to add to them. Especially since the front pocket is a very plain. I mean, all of this is very background type paper. Okay, so we'll glue this one down. And style-wise, like I said, once again, depending on the papers you use, this can be whatever style you want. I will probably make, these are so simple and they go together so fast. I will probably make a bunch of these for, out of the kitty paper for, you know, the kid journal type books. And I will probably make some out of, I have more of this butterfly paper. I can do, I have that Once Upon a Time matte stack. So I've got all kinds of paper to work with. Also, if you don't have matte stacks, you can obviously just take cardstock and cut it into the easy. I would end up, just because it's easier for me, I would end up cutting it into 4.5 by 6.5 pieces or 4 by 6 pieces, depending on how big I want the pocket to be. And then I would cut those pieces in half. Just because. All right, now I'm hoping that this will stick good. Actually, I'm going to get the bone folder out. We're going to push that really good down on that surface. I'm hoping that the glitter does not interfere because the surface is kind of textured and bumpy. So I'm hoping that it works okay. All right, and there we go. So there's another one. And like I said, these come together really quick. These are punched. We'll ink these pieces. And this is just, you know, you get, you have one background card, but you get multiple pieces. I mean, you get 4 little ones if you cut the card into quarters, or you get 2 little ones and a middle one, or however you end up cutting that card up, depending on what's on it and how you want to do it. You get multiple pieces out of the ones you cut for the smaller pockets. But the backgrounds, obviously, you can only use the one time. So this is going to be using the same middle pieces and top pieces and showing it on a different background, just to get the idea of the fact that, I mean, you can mix and match, and especially, again, with the matte stacks, those papers were all, you know, put together because they go together, right? So you can mix and match those all over the place. The only thing that holds you back is whether or not you care about the directionality of the paper as far as if you turn it. Now, this one went this way, so maybe we'll tilt this one this way. Just because I don't know if I've done one that way. So, again, we glue down the middle. And I didn't really get out any of the kid ones. Depending on how long this goes, I can grab a couple and we can make a kid one just to see how it looks. But right now I just got the kind of pretty papers rather than the kitty papers. So we got that one, and then put this one here. And again, the textured surface, I'll use the bone folder to push it down. It seems to be holding on the other card, so that's good. It wasn't holding on a different pocket that I was making that I'm probably going to do a video on down the road. But for now, it seems to be working on this one okay, so that's good. Okay, and there you go. So that one is done. And you can see the middle pieces are the same, but the backgrounds are different. So it makes for a different, kind of a different look. I like the way those turned out as well. So these ones went in the same. I seem to tilt to that way. So I guess maybe I should pay attention more so I can have some going in either direction. Oh, for Pete's sakes. Can't pick them up. All right. Now, before I go on and make some more of those, this one has no measurements. This ended up being about a 3/4 by 3/4 inch square. And this measurement ended up being just because I was trying to figure out how to make a pocket fit on here and still be able to see the design, the directional design on the pocket, which is why this came out different than the other ones. So in the 4.5 inch direction, it didn't get cut in half. But what I did end up with was an extra cutoff piece. I'm not really sure why. Oh, because I wanted most of this butterfly. So what ended up happening was I cut it more than halfway. So I ended up cutting it off over here to make up for the 3.25 inch. Now this one will fit perfectly on this card. This is another one of these with the little emblem on the corner. And to me, that's directional. This goes like this. I was going to stick this one on here, which means I need to cut this off. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna trim this. I don't wanna trim too much, and I kinda want some of that filigree. So I'm gonna trim this right here. And hopefully I didn't make it too short. So this one doesn't have as much measuring. This one is more of an eyeball type of a thing. You put it on there the way you like it. More so than measuring, you know, like the cutting the card in half and then in half again. Oh, I'm about to punch nothing. I had that set in there so that I was busy looking at the outsides and not bothering to pay attention to whether or not I had any paper in the punch. Okay, and then we're going to ink this. And down she goes. Look at this. This has got to be my quickest crafting video. Maybe I was more prepared for this one. That's got to be something I've got to pay attention to. Of course, when a craft has more steps, it has more steps. I mean, you just can't. Sometimes you prepare all the pieces and you get everything ready and then... But part of what I want to do is I get all the pieces ready so I can make one and I have time to make one on film. But I also want to be able to show you how I made the pieces and, you know, all the steps to get there. Okay, and there you go. That's another one of these. It's just one. Oh, I almost forgot. And then you can punch a notch center here. Like I said, I just eyeball them. Okay, so I think it's funny that both of these angle toward the notch. So this is just if you find one and you like this idea, but you don't want to cover something up, or you want to do it on a piece that's this way, you could put another little pocket on here if you really wanted to. Okay, we're doing pretty good, so maybe rather than make those, I can make those in a minute. Maybe I'll grab the kids' stack. There we go. Okay, sorry about that. All right, so we've got tons of options here, guys. I don't necessarily want to use the black and white. Okay. This is where the videos get long because it takes forever to pick stuff out. And can you hear the banging? Okay, sorry about that. Lots of interruptions. Hopefully there won't be any more before the end of this. That might be kind of a cool background. Again, I have to worry about gluing down on these odd surfaces because this is very sparkly paper. That might be a fun middle pocket, maybe? I don't know if this is a good candidate for these sparkly matte stacks. Because there's like none of this paper that doesn't have glitter on it. I love that paper. I don't know why, but I do. If I did stripes and then littles, big flowers, little flowers, stripes in between. I don't know. I don't know if I like that. It'd be like nice to have big flowers, little flowers, like something almost neutral in between. Could do polka dots in between. Like this, and then this. Maybe we'll do that. Okay. I'm only going to do one kid one because I don't want the video to go like forever. And I don't know that I will ink the kid one. Or you can always ink in another color. So maybe I'll ink it in pink. I have pink. And I have a dauber with a pink thingy on it. So that'll be good. All right, so let's get this one cut. This is my background. This is my in-between. So 3 1/4. I'll try and move relatively quickly so that this doesn't take forever. Not that they take forever to put together, but and then this one, oh, this has got to go to 3 1/4. And then I'm going to use the one with the orange since I used an orange middle. And this has got to go to 2 1/4. I'm only doing one, so... Alright, now we're going to fold this over. Oh, this one's nice and easy to fold. The white background is not quite as thick. Mark. And cut. Or notch, or whatever you want to call this. Okay, we got that. Sometimes these pattern papers throw me off because I try to center the pattern inside the circle, but the pattern isn't actually centered on the paper. Okay, and then this one is this big punch. Sometimes I punch them and I feel like I make sometimes the thumb hole goes too deep. I don't like it. Okay, so let's do a color. This will be fun, right? So we'll ink it with pink. I've discovered that I like the colored inkings just because it still gives the inked effect, but it's kind of a, I don't know. well, obviously a different look, but I will say this, I'm learning the difference between the inks and the oxides, because a lot of the pads that I have are oxides and not inks. So this stuff takes longer to dry, I will say that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and ink this one just because I like the way this pink is looking. I'm right in the middle of the afternoon, and all these interruptions are because everybody's getting home from school, getting home from work. And before the last one to return home comes traipsing in her all loud. Okay. So, and here we go again, guys. We just glue it down. And we'll see that this one is going to be a very different look than the other ones. But I think this is going to look really cute because I still want to go and make little golden book journals. So the more of this kitty paper I use to make fun little things for the golden book journals, the easier it'll be for me to make them when the time comes and I've got the book pulled apart and I'm trying to put stuff on the signature pages. Because, like I said, I'm looking forward to making another one. I haven't been discouraged by the process that I went through. Just kind of like a learning process. So, yeah. All right. Let's put this down, and I think we'll call this. And you can, give this a try for yourself, or... Like I said, I feel like this, well, any project we do really lends itself to any kind of style. I mean, it's obviously all in whatever papers you use and whatever kind of style you're going for. But I always think that it's good, I mean, when I'm doing this, to show a couple. And see, I like the way that turned out. That's really cute, isn't it? So there we have a nice colorful one. We have the two that we did that was kind of a variation on the Caddy Corner pocket stack with just one little pocket. And then we have all these ones that are, we got butterflies, 2 different backgrounds, and then we have this floral one, 2 different backgrounds. So there you go, guys. We got, well, technically we got 7 pockets done. I hope you enjoyed this craft. I hope that you, give it a shot. It's very easy. They come together so quick, and they're a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to making, little tags and whatnot to go inside them. And since I know how wide they are, it shouldn't be too hard to cut tags and stuff to go inside them. So, like I said, thanks for stopping by, guys. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.